Well, we meet again. Just you, me, and nobody else. Just me. Just the guy carrying this whole podcast. This guy got you in the back. Just ignoring that comment. Yeah, You're stuck with me. You're stuck with me this week, man. It's a solo podcast. What number we at, Iggy? What number? We got 154, man. We're rolling through these, man. The last time I've done a solo pod would have been the last time right before my last voyage to Europe. I think 2 years ago now. 2 years ago that was, and I came on this podcast by myself and I was talking about all my traveling experiences up until that point. And man, like a lot has happened since then. I feel like every time you go overseas, it's like after a while it feels like just a blur. Like, you know what I mean? Like almost immediately you get back to the airport and the people are like, oh, you know, or you see people after the trip, oh, how was it? And all you can say is good. Like it could be the best experience ever. And you're just like, good. That's all you can be bothered with. You know what I mean? I experienced it. It was a thing. What do you want me to do? Do you want to fucking show you pictures and postcards and shit everywhere I went? So, yeah, the time just seems to evade you. You know what I mean? Until I feel like when we came back from last trip, we just said, me and Tori were like, we had to try and do it again. And we're like, we've got to go on one more big trip. All right. So that we decided we have to go to Europe, to the other places in Europe that we had not seen before, you know? I feel like, I don't know, we only get a certain amount of time on this earth, and I'm like, shit, man, I know it's all well and good investing your money doing that. I still intend to do that. I still intend to, you know, spend money on things that provide more security for me and, you know, me and Tori in the future, any possible kids in the future, etc. But man, doing this shit, I just felt a calling to it, and so did Tori. So we're literally filming this podcast now. Like when you're listening to it, by the time you listen to it, I'm overseas, baby. I'm already in Europe. But I'm about right now, currently filming this podcast right now. I think I'm 16 days out. 16 days out, baby. This is the best. This is the best time to be in that holiday mode when you're just like, you're just there. You feel like you're there already. I don't know about you guys, but I get excited way early, like heaps early. So I'm peaking at this point. But yeah, I just came from the hairdressers. I don't know, people that are actually watching the YouTube can see. Fucking the freshest fucking cunt around, bro. How good do you feel right after a haircut? That confidence level? Like you can be a solid 4, all right? But if you're well groomed, right, you can be a 6, easy. Just get rid of those dirty mutton chops or whatever you got going for you and just clean it up, baby. Clean it up. So I'm feeling myself right now, but I just come in and yeah, like right before we go, I just want to feel fresh, clear-headed, and I feel like a haircut did that, you know, coming in here before. I couldn't come in the podcast and looking like I'm just like Tom Hanks from fucking Castaway, you know what I mean? Like, Wilson! Like I literally looked that bad, you know? So I had to get a cut coming in here and yeah, just trying to feel that vibe of like already being there. Like I'm already there. I'm at work. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm working because I feel like the harder you work, you know, the day does go quicker instead of just kicking your feet and doing nothing. But I feel like because not that long after we got home from our other Europe trip, me and Tori already started talking about this trip, you know? And shout out to Tori, the real one, just doing everything. Like in terms of planning the holiday and shit, just done everything. You know, did it for so cheap. Just finding like, you know, cheap prices where she can. You know, like I know nothing of where we're going. I know we're going on a plane overseas. I know we're going to different countries, but I'm gonna do my best to tell you the outline of our trip. But shout out to Tori first of all for doing all this shit. But yeah, like I'm trying to just. I'm on autopilot at work, you know? I'm just kind of floating about, doing my own thing. So that for me is that first build-up is what I'm most looking forward to. But in order of events, right, this is what we're doing to start. Like we're starting off in like the UK, right? So we leave on the 1st of May. We're going there to UK. We're going to London, baby. You know what I mean? London. We're going Scotland, Ireland, all those things, yeah. I'm real keen for, castle, or like going to look at castles in Scotland and Ireland and all that. The Guinness factory, even though I fucking despise beer, so I know I'll hate Guinness. Like, fuck me, bro. Like, I get it. Like, oh, black beer, burnt beer, but how can that taste good? Anyway, but I'm real real excited to see the greenery there. Like, I imagine it's beautiful, right? And it is different because when you go to the UK, I guess, obviously I haven't been before, but you got to think that they're the most like us, right? Like the English. Like you go there, you can obviously understand what they're saying, unless you go the depths of Liverpool, and maybe you'll just have to get a translator around with you. But I feel like it'll be easier to get on with people. I feel like our nature is very much alike, our humor, if you will. But yeah, I just feel like I'm real keen on, being, for example, at a random pub in London or Ireland or Scotland, anywhere, just I don't know. I feel like it's a different environment. You know what I mean? I mean, it's still a pub, right? But I feel like there'll be places where I'm like, I don't know. I love going overseas, and you go to certain places that just stick with you forever, and you just have this moment where you just like look inward and you're like, I'm actually here. You know what I mean? I'm in a fucking random pub in fucking Dublin, or I'm at this, I'm at a soccer game in London, or wherever you're at, and you're like, I'm here, But yeah, specifically in London, we're doing the Harry Potter studio tour thing, so that should be good. I mean, that was more of a me thing, to be honest, because I'm such a Harry Potter dick rider. But I mean, Tori agreed to come along, I guess. So we'll probably drink some butterbeer and I don't know, go nestle Hagrid's cock or something. Though I don't know what we're doing. We're going to do something, but yeah, like I said, man, this is all Tori's planning, eh? Like all her went into this trip. It's incredible, but we're going to after we go to Scotland and Ireland, I'm pretty sure our next stop is Prague. I think Prague. And then we go to Prague. We go spend a few days in there. We go to Poland. Go to Auschwitz, the concentration camps. Kind of morbid, right? And ever since we've chosen to do this on the trip, I've always when I say this, we're going to Poland. I don't know why I feel the need to say after that we're going to Auschwitz to see the camps, but I just didn't know what else was in Poland. So I'm like, I felt like I had to say that's what I was going to Poland for, which is essentially what we're doing. But yeah, ever since I've said that, I feel like a lot of people kind of some people look sideways and be like, oh, like there's something go, okay. Or there's something go, oh yeah, like cool. It's just kind of I don't know, it is depressing to think about, but it's actually weirdly whoa, cool, but I don't know. Not cool fuck them, obviously, not but almost I can't believe that shit even went down, and you're there and you feel like it has an aura about it. I do believe a place has aura when something horrific happens there, when the horrific scale is turned up just that touch more, where it's shit, events, impact that place somehow. I don't know. I feel or maybe it's just because that you're told that this is where they were gassed. You know what I mean? What if you were just in a random fucking old abandoned train track fucking facility, and they're like, oh, this is where Jews were murdered. Then you'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Is it because it's inserted into you, that thought? Is that why you feel the energy there? I don't know. But regardless, that'll be interesting to see. In school, I was always out of all the subjects, English and modern history, I really excelled at. That with modern history being Hitler in 1942, his reign, the Second World War, and all that shit, which is obviously linked to the camp. So, hence the origin for my interest about that shit. But yeah, man, we're doing that. We're going to south of France. We're going to Nice, which I'm very, very excited for. I know it's beautiful there, from what I've seen anyway. But I'm thinking of skipping. We don't want to see the Eiffel Tower. We thought about it, and originally I was like, yeah, we got to go to Paris, right? If we're going south of France, we got to go to Paris, see the Eiffel Tower, even for a day trip. Not realizing how far south of France is from Paris. And you know what? Fuck them. Fuck the French. All right? Fuck them. Fuck them and their croissant. You know what I mean? They're fucking cafes that I can go sit at any other country in the world and look like I'm in France. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like with only certain time up our sleeves, like we are going for 2.5 months. So it is a fucking big trip, right? But at the same time, I feel like with traveling, you want to cut the fat and just do exactly what you want to do. And if you and your partner or you and your friends, whoever you go on traveling with, or if you go on yourself, whatever, but whoever you go with, just discuss, have that conversation, that open conversation, because if you're going on a trip, even with your partner, you still have to kind of cater for what each of you want to do, or friends, what each you want to do. And yeah, just for us, I feel like Eiffel Tower would be cool and that, but I feel like other than that, it's like, what else are you doing? I can't imagine you're staying long in Paris, where the Eiffel Tower is. But it would still be cool to see, I guess. But yeah, that's one of the things we're kind of crossing off. So south of Nice it is. But south of Nice, I find it's more of the coastal, right? So it's better. Like, I just like coastal locations more than, inland. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, inland, it's more just wineries, usually wherever you go, or it's just suburb, like city, no sea or no ocean to be fucking in sight, I don't like that. So I like that we're doing south of Nice. But yeah, it's just hard to obviously comment on countries that I haven't been to yet. You know what I mean? Like, this is just countries I'm rattling off that we're going to. But yeah, I'm keen for all of it, to be honest. But we got after Nice, we're going Portugal. Everyone goes, just you try the Portuguese chicken. Like, okay, bro. But yeah, going to Portugal. Then we go to Malta, which I heard my mates went last year, 2 years ago now, and me and Tori decided not to go. But yeah, unfortunately, fortunately for them, it was an amazing time. Unfortunately for us, we decided not to go. So we're going this time round, Malta. I have to do Malta. From what I hear, you can walk it in about 10 minutes, all of Malta. So if you walk at a fast pace, like not a running pace, but the people at the Olympics, like that do the fast walking, like whatever it's called. Yeah, like if you walk at that pace, you might circle around Malta in maybe 12 minutes. Don't have Tori to check that, but I'm sure it's wrong. But yeah, Malta and then Italy, man. Italy, I'm the most keen for. I don't know why, but like Italy, even though I haven't been there yet, I just have this preconceived notion that it'll resonate with me more than any other country has in my life. Purely off photos, purely off movies that I've seen that are in Italy. That probably weren't even actually fucking filmed in Italy, but whatever. But yeah, just the Pebblestone vibes, which you can find in a lot of countries, but the food, it's the culture you go for. Which, by the way, while we're on the topic, this is what that is for me and Tori, right? We're at that stage of our lives where we've settled down, but like compared to earlier years. But I don't know. I feel like with traveling, go off, right? If it calls for it, have a big night. I'm not being a party pooper, especially with your friends. But when you're with your partner, it's a bit different. Like if you find a place and this place is cool. We have a few drinks, we party for a bit, and then go home. We can do that. But like, it's not like a rager. Like last time we went overseas, like 14 of us, like a big friend group. We got fucked up so often, it was crazy. But this will be more on the side of being just a cultural experience. You know what I mean? Which is why Italy, I feel like I'm going to resonate with a lot, because I know you could go out in Italy if you wanted, but just that vibe of, in Italy, we're going to Rome, we're going to Venice, we're going to Cinque Is it Cinque right? I can't even say. Why does that Asian just then? We're going to Cinque. I feel like a fraud saying it, but saying it like a bogan. But we're going to Cinque, which is near like... it's near Positano, I think, and we're staying right. Yeah, we're staying right near Positano, and then we're going to Amalfi Coast. So there's a lot. I can't wait to just be in the presence of those beautiful locations and the culture. Just get immersed in the culture a bit. And I like to. Me and Tori have been learning Spanish on Duolingo, and yeah, it's quite funny because we're not even going anywhere that speaks Spanish per se, you know what I mean? Like we're going to Portugal, they speak Portuguese. It's kind of different, right? But we just thought, fuck it, Spanish is one of the most top spoken languages in the world. So let's just give it a crack. You know what I mean? But I like when I go to different countries. I'll do this for Italy. I'll do this for south of France. I'll do this for everywhere I go, right? Every country. I always, on the way over there or on the airport on the way, when I have a spare minute, I'll just write down usual sayings that I'll most likely say, like, good morning, how are you? Or how much? Or hello, goodbye, thank you. Shit like that, right? And I just feel like, although we're learning Duolingo, like Spanish on Duolingo, we can use it, but I feel like a shortcut to that is to practice the words you know you're going to use, right? It's not like they can fire back it in Spanish or whatever language you're speaking, but at least they can, they appreciate you trying, and if you can get a few sentences back and forth, like I know in Spanish, you say, ¿Cómo estás? And they say, fuck, what do they say? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. What was the other one? Yeah, muy bien. And then they'll say something like you, and then I just know how to say, muy bien. Like muy bien is I'm good. But little shit like that, I'll just keep in my back pocket to use, and I feel like that makes me feel a bit more like involved and enriched in the culture. Which, like I said, going back to that is what I want from this trip, is to be more immersed in other cultures, and I don't know, man, and try to stay present in the moment, which is so hard when you're on a trip. Even though this time we're staying in each place for way longer than what we did in the other trip, where we were just more jumping around like rock stars, living out of our suitcase. We're taking more time out to slow down and enjoy all of it. Fuck, what was I saying? I forgot. This is my brain. You guys would be insane. You would be amazed if you could see what's in my head when I talk sometimes. I say sentences and I'm already thinking about the next thing to say. I do this in everyday conversation. I just get ahead of myself. But yeah, that culture, all that shit, that's what I'm about, yeah? But then after Italy, we're going to Turkey. Now, Turkey is, I'm really, really keen for Turkey. Because we booked this, Tori booked this trip for us to go on it while we're in Turkey, which I thought of, and it's in Cappadocia. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's all the hot air balloons all risen at once. They all do this at sunrise, and it creates this mad effect. And it's like you're over this big canyon and stuff, over these mountains or canyon range, whatever. But yeah, it looks so cool, man. So I'm real keen for that. That was probably the most expensive tour of the trip, and well worth it from what it includes, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's that whole trip done. That's 2.5 months, man. But I don't know, I just can't stress enough. Like, I know people are different, people have different goals, people want to spend money on this and that, and get a house, man. Get a house, do this, get all your finances in order, invest in the right shit. But man, I promise you, like, investing in your memories, man, like experiences, I feel like those are the richest. That's the richest form of anything right there. That's just, I don't know. It's all well and good having all these assets and this and that, but at such a young age, and you're sweet, you're set up for later. But you got kids, you got that later. So there's always something that's preventing you from doing what you want to do. And sometimes, if that's traveling, man, just do it. You got to do it, man. You might forget about, like I said before, you do forget, I guess, when it comes time to it and someone asks you about a trip you went on 2 years ago, yes, okay, you can't remember how many drinks exactly you had at a club in fucking Eos in Greece or something. Or you can't, remember that drunken night when you fell down the stairs and you fucking did, or whatever. You can't remember certain things like specifically, but overall, I feel like you're better off for it. Like, you'll always remember it. You know what I mean? You might not have to remember every minute detail, but you will remember it. And I feel like you'll enrich your life for it, to be honest. God, it sounds like I'm fucking working for like a flight corporation or something, trying to get you overseas. Yeah, but I just thought Tori came up with these rapid questions that I could kind of answer. So thank you, Tori. Shout out again. Going above and beyond always. Love you. She says, if you can travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? Well, I mean, when you listen to guys listen to this, we are already overseas in Europe, but just for argument's sake, I'm not going to say any of the countries that we're going to this trip because that's like cheating. We're going to already go there. But, you know, a country that I've always wanted to just be at, if someone could just be like, take me there, right? It's weird, but like Egypt. Egypt, man, and or an African safari, right? Because I want to do both in the one trip. Egypt is in Africa. I've always wanted to be on the back of a fucking RAV4 in the fucking jungle, in the African jungle, and a lioness has just killed fucking baby zebra, and I'm just rolling around in this RAV4, just fucking on the roof, just watching this motherfucker take this zebra down. You know what I mean? I want to go on, I want to have the whole camping experience where you got the security guards around the tent, just making sure the lions don't fucking eat you asshole first, you know? I just want to be immersed in that. But yeah, so the intensity and the realness, the rawness of that African safari trip, you know what I mean? As long as there's an Oporto or Macca's close by or whatever, you know? I'm from the West, like, come on. Yeah, but the intensity of the African safari and the realness of it mixed with just the majesticness of the pyramids of Giza, you know? The River Nile, seeing the River Nile would be cool. Just seeing how Egypt is as a whole for myself, because I've heard a lot of negative shit about Egypt. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like seeing it for myself. I don't think it's as bad as what the media or what people portray, but I could be wrong, could be biased because I am fucking, my background is half Egyptian. She said, what's the most beautiful place you've ever been? For me, it is Greece, right? Specifically in Santorini. There's a place called Oya. And Oya is the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in my 30 years of living. And like nothing can beat it, man. Like nothing. It's one of those things where, you know, it's like anything. It's like telling your friend about a trip you had, you know, on mushrooms. And they can't like meet you on that level and know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But I feel like with that shit, you just got to be there yourself, you know? But I'm looking out, right? And Oya's like this, on Santorini, it's like the tip of this peak of Santorini. And it's got like, it overlooks this cliff, and then the sun sets right in front of it. And the way the sun set, man, it was like an orange tinge to everything the light touched. It was insane. And I remember just like getting off the quad bikes and rushing up, because it does get a bit busy. So especially obviously sunset hours, like the most hectic. So we're getting up there and we're just watching the sun go down, and there's like a dormant volcano across the way. And it's one of those moments where I'm just like, fuck, we're here, man. Like this place exists. But but yeah, that's the most beautiful place so far that I've seen. It could be corrected now after our latest Europe trip. But it just says, name 2 languages that you don't speak but you wish to learn. All right, well, Spanish and Arabic. This is an easy one. You know, I'm already learning Spanish on Duolingo. Arabic, you know, I'm only learning Spanish over Arabic because Arabic is much harder. You know what I mean? Spanish is a bit more easier, but still hard. But yeah, Spanish and Arabic, you know? Spanish because it's fucking hot. Speaking Spanish, man, I'm like, come on. Like, Arabic's a bit more intense, but, you know, it'd be good. Favorite country, Greece so far. I think we've established this. I've been quite Greece biased, to be honest. What do you look forward to the most about traveling? Man, I look forward to it all, man. I look forward to everything from like the week up until everything until like when you get to the airport and you have that first airport beer. I don't even drink beer, but I'll have airport beers. They're different. It's not beer at the airport. It's life. It's just, I don't care what beer. I'll drink it. I'll drink all of it. So the airport beers, I even like, weirdly enough, to much people's disgust, I actually don't mind kind of like the flight on the way there specifically. I even like getting in my seat, finding where I'm going to be for the next 24 hours or whatever the fuck, or 14 hours, and just sit up there, watch. I even enjoy the little screens that you watch the movies on. I'll watch 3-4 movies in a row. I want to see what they've served me at the on the airplane, food wise. I'm like, bring it. You know what I mean? We're traveling with Etihad, so they're pretty good. You know, you got to understand it is airplane food, but. And I feel like it blocks you up for the whole trip. I feel like I can't ever shit properly, like on the plane. I don't know why, but it feels like someone's literally puffed air in my asshole and just, I feel like I need a shit, but it's just wind. It's just, if I need to, it's like when you bring a bottle up in the airplane and the bottle expands and you unlock it. I feel like that's what your insides do. Legit. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if it's the airplane food and that air pressure mixed in together that causes me to be constipated for however many hours on the flight. But just in case you guys are wondering, that's my bowel movement patterns on planes. So you're welcome. This is the hard-hitting facts here at FireCast that we're all here for. And with that, I guess, what better way to close out the show than my bowel movements? So, guys, man, if you listen to this, like I said, I'm already in Europe. Wish me the best. Wish me love. Wish me the best experience life has to offer. And I wish the same for you guys, man. Thank you for listening. And yeah, man, peace. Welcome, guys. And another solo episode with your boy. With your boy. With your boy. Just me, by my lonesome. I don't know what you motherfuckers did to get so lucky, but here we are. All right? Just carrying the boats. Carrying the fucking boats, man. The FireCast. Man, what have I been fucking doing lately, man? I went to Featherdale Wildlife Park in Doonside the other day with Tori and her nephew Phoenix. We were babysitting him for the weekend. And man, it's he's a cute kid, man. He's becoming a little character. You know, when they're kids when they're heaps young for so long, they haven't really developed into themselves yet. I feel like it's more after school, man. But he's becoming a little character, man. It's funny watching him grow, and it's also really fucking hard to play parent for even more than 5 hours. Man, it's that weird thing, man, where I'm like, do you always feel this sense of like fear of having kids until you eventually accidentally fall pregnant? Or even if you don't actually accidentally fall pregnant and you're planning to have kids, are you still shitting yourself? Like, are you still like, oh man, I can't hand him back. This is final. There's levels of parenting. You can be a shit parent, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you want to be a half-decent person, you got to raise this kid. So I'm just like, man, it's crazy how we put a bit of effort into Phoenix for Tori's nephew for one weekend. And after the weekend, we're like, oh man, I need a holiday. And it's like, damn, I just guess we're going to feel that until we end up having kids eventually. And then we're just learning like everyone else is on the job. That's the only way to put it, I can imagine. Just learning on the job. That is the basic form of parenting right there. Just learning on the job. You can have your parents can be the best parents in the world, and they can't prep you for shit. But like, we went to Featherdale Wildlife Park, and yeah, we went there, man, and it's so different when you go there. First of all, paid $90 for me and Tori, so $45 each, and I guess for like $45 each, I will give it to them. Featherdale Wildlife Park is a smaller version of the Blacktown, the zoo in Blacktown for sure, but it is a bit more hands-on. You can pet koalas, you can feed these little baby wallaby things, you can feed kangaroos, all that shit, right? For $45, man. And I tell you what's frustrating. Like, I'll pay it, whatever. I paid it. I made Phoenix pay for it. Get a job, bitch. No. But I paid for him. Kids are free, right? So me and Tori go. Phoenix is free. Fair. And it's funny because when I was a kid and I was just powering through everything, like my attention span was so short, right? And Phoenix's attention span, man, you got to really get him to keep his attention, right? It reminds me so much of myself, but I've just got a bit more of a handle on like that shit. Like, I've had 30 years experience of this living inside my head, you know what I mean? So I know how to kind of taper it down. But he is just the embodiment of my ADD tenfold, just exposed right in front of me. So I'm just seeing myself as a kid just fucking, oh, look at this, look at this. So we go there and I'm like, oh, look at the wallabies. Look, and there's always a fun fact. Like, did you know wallabies are supposed to be living in the desert ranges with, I don't know, fucking shrubs and prey to feed on before they become institutionalized and sad and depressed and want to kill themselves, and instead they're in a the zoo at Doonside. You know how it always says that natural habitat where they're supposed to be, and they're everywhere but where they're supposed to be. They're in a literal wildlife park in Doonside. But yeah, I'm just saying to Phoenix, oh, look at the wallabies, like trying to tell him the general facts about them. I always like reading the general facts about the animals. They actually kind of interest me a lot. But yeah, I'm trying to take my time because, like I said, you pay $90, right, for two people. Some people are like, you're tight ass, it's $45 each. But then when we're doing this for Phoenix, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go to Featherdale Wildlife Park. We're doing this for him. It's a good experience, you know, get him out. And he did enjoy it. But because I'm just seeing him go, oh yeah, all right, let's go to the next thing. I'm just like, oh man, this kid's not taking anything. Meanwhile, he is taking in the experience, but it's like, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, you know, he just wanted to see the Predators. You know what I mean? So I said, I can play some Drake. No, but he said, I want to see the Predators. You know, the crocodiles, the lions. You know, all the bad shit. You know what I mean? Or like the boss looking shit. But we were just me being that tight ass adult that knows what money means is just walking through the aviary. Looking at the birds, you know the aviary where you usually walk past as a kid because you're like, bro, they're birds. I've had a budgie before. I've been through that once. I need to, you know, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm not bird watching, right? But me being like, well, we got the whole day. Like we got there at a good time, you know. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to give Phoenix such a good experience, you know what I mean? So yeah, just me not taking any shortcut, wanting to make the most of my money. Meanwhile, Phoenix is like not realizing what money is and just being like, all right, where are the tigers? Where are the lions? You know what I mean? But yeah, just kind of weird. The zoo is in Doonside, and man, I seen like at the start you go in and you see, you know, you see the guaccas, you see the willow wallabies. You know, they're in the pet feeding section, so people are feeding and they're looking like living a chill life. You know, I'm like, yeah, mad. And then you see like two penguins in an enclosure which isn't even snow; it's outside. It's an enclosure outside. There's no snow. Now, these animals, I'm not dissing Featherdale Wildlife Park here. They weren't mistreated at all. Not one animal there I seen was, oh, God, that's kind of, you know, strange. Other than the fact that they're all in a fucking zoo. I just feel, you know, I do partake in going to the zoo. I'm not fully against the zoo, but I'm just saying there's some weird kind of thing where you do undress it a little bit in your head. Like, I'm doing this for Phoenix, and I'm like, yeah. And then I just walk past this penguin, and that's when I went, man, like I walk past this penguin, I'm like, come on, bro. This penguin looked like the homeless of homeless penguins. Like, it wasn't mistreated. I'm not saying it was like, but I'm just saying it just looked like a penguin. A stuffed penguin that wasn't even stuffed properly, like a stuffed animal in general. The standard of stuffed animals should be pristine because it is just that, stuffed. So it's easy to manufacture, right? But, you know, you get those ones that are like poorly stuffed and they're a bit kind of like, you know, warped. I'm like, fuck, this penguin just looked like he'd robbed me for lunch money. You know what I mean? Just full body, not even like scoliosis was ravaging this penguin, right? And I'm like, holy shit. And like, it wasn't enough but maybe this is me just like knowing that it just looked too dry. The penguin looked like jerky in terms of like, a penguin is supposed to have that silky, soft black suit that they've just got out of the water because they should be in an enclosure where there's water, right? But this was just like a dirty penguin that's been rolling around in dust and it just hasn't found a drop of water in a while. But I digress, you know what I mean? I'm just saying some of these penguins. But then I said to Tori, I mentioned it to Tori and I was like, but I think what it is the animals that I'm like, oh, they should be elsewhere. I'm pretty sure, or I want this to be true. I'm pretty sure they are in there for a certain reason. One way or another, they're in there because maybe they were, I don't know, extracted from their family from their mother too young, and then they couldn't really find it out there themselves or whatever. Or they were just too weak to live in the wild. That's what I hope. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good vibe there, but also, I feel like zoos, I would go again, but I just do it for the kids. You know what I mean? You do it for the kids and you get out of there. I don't think me and the boys aren't meeting up at the zoo. Yeah? You meet me in the zoo? See, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like the zoo, for me to be entertained, the zoo would have to take it to that next level and inject gorillas with steroids, right?
Cocaine.
Yeah, the bears, cocaine bear, right? And then have like matchups between not gorilla and not into. I was going to say interracial. Would the gorillas be black? No, I'm joking. No, but like not into fighting as in like a bear versus a crocodile or whatever, but just the same breeds fighting each other. They'd have to inject the gorillas with steroids, make the gorillas fight, or have like a great white shark tank, but not a small tank because I'm all about ethics, but have a massive tank of a great whites and do like a deep blue sea kind of scripted kind of plot line. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's like they have like a big testing pool full of sharks and they inject them with this stuff that makes them just bigger. You can inject them with that and have them fucking fight it out. You just have to have shit that will make it way more interesting for me to go than just a gorilla that kind of is on the back end of his life. You know, he's kind of tired of flinging shit everywhere and he's like, ooh, he beats his chest once and I'm just staring at him. You know what I mean? I feel like you need or you can have like even if you have like an event at a zoo, would that be cool? You have like a DJ event at a zoo and you just have, oh no, that'd be kind of weird. Just sneak the meerkats caps. Just watch the meerkats fucking frothing over the EDM drops. Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't go to the zoo again personally until accompanied by a child. I wouldn't be accompanying the child would be accompanying me. Lately after like I've been trying to get my ass to the gym because I feel like lately I've been slacking off because, you know, holidays coming up. I'm just like, oh, I don't need to go to the gym, you know what I mean? But prior to that, I was doing like CrossFit shit, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old, man. I'm rocking up today. I'm just sore, you know what I mean? I'm just sore, and I'm like, I thought when people complained about getting sore, I'm like, don't be a bitch, you know what I mean? Just get on steroids or just stop complaining, you know what I mean? But I thought it'd be longer till I started getting these aches and pains, but. And if I don't stretch, man, I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. And I've had to change up my training massively. It's kind of affected my head a little bit. I get like, a bit fucking insecure about like not being able, because I hate being a little bit debilitated at all, like just due to an injury. You know what I mean? And my body can't do the things I want it to do. I get real down in the dumps. So I feel like that right now for me is like my biggest thing where I've changed it up. I've gone from CrossFit to like, you know, a bit of weight training, a bit of yoga when I can, and, you know, a bit of swimming, and trying to just keep moving, keep active. But like, man, leading up into this trip, my motivation's kind of shit, to be honest. But that happens, you know. It's just about rolling with the punches. But hopefully I get my body sorted because your man's is getting sore, bro. The Egyptian thunder god is feeling like I'm to be mummified tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm sore, goddammit. And I wish there was some way, though, that, like, I could work, I could, like... And they have to do this thing where, like, you don't have to go to the gym, you don't have to work out or nothing, and you can just have the body and the image but it's not all about the body and it's not all about the image, but I just want to stay shredded or I just want to look good without having to put any effort in. I reckon that would probably be maybe with like across men and women, maybe, or maybe more men, but no, maybe men and women. I think that would be like the most requested wish would be like, I want to be able to just stay in shape at least at the bare minimum, stay in shape and not have to do anything that is aligned with that goal. Like I'm talking with food as well. Just you could just eat whatever. You didn't even have to be like, even the thing of you feeling. A lot of people go, no, I eat healthy because it makes me feel better. Okay, whatever. If that wasn't even a thing, and you could eat whatever you want, and you still wouldn't feel like shit, you just feel normal, and you'd stay in shape, and you can just not even go to the gym. You can eat whatever you wanted, and you can just. That would be the most requested for wish, right? For guys, I feel like it would be a bigger dick, right? Because no matter how big your dick is, I feel like that would be amongst men. That would be the most requested wish, I feel like, would be a bigger dick. It's just like, one more inch, just one more. You know what I mean? I mean, after the trip, we got, I don't know when you guys listen to this right now, but when I get back, man, we're getting to that age now where I feel like we are kind of, everyone is getting married. You know, I have a few buxes, you know, I have a few weddings and shit I'm going to. I feel like with all that stuff, like this age now, that's natural of what's going to happen, right? And I feel like there's that viral TikTok video of fucking Steve Harvey, like, you need a brown suit, you need a white pant, you need a white shirt, you need a black suit, you need this. And then you kind of mix and match. Like, I am so over. Like, I can't even tell you how many weddings I've been to, right? But oh my God, so many weddings coming up, right? But what I've noticed is the weddings are only getting more fun. Right? When I was younger, I feel like I came out of the fucking womb and I was on an altar. And it wasn't my wedding, right? My mother pushed me out. I was in Blacktown Hospital. She was crowning. They rushed her out to this altar, this random church nearby, and she pushed me out. And at 9 pounds, I came out. That was me coming out of my mother. At least it wasn't coming in my mother. No, but coming onto this altar and just like, I was at a wedding. I opened my eyes and I was at a wedding. That's how long I've felt like I've been going to weddings for. Like, back when the photo guy and the video guy could have been a pedophile that liked filming kids and you wouldn't even know. He'd just be like, yep, I'm the cameraman, I'm the photo guy. Would charge like $400 for a whole day. Yeah, but I've been going to weddings for so long. But obviously when I was younger, they were all just family and that's all I knew. And they were nice, right? We had a tight-knit family, especially growing up. But as I'm getting older, and like I said, we're getting older and it's that time where everyone else is getting married, it's obviously all my friends that are getting married. And man, I feel like my friends, like, it's maybe not just my friends, but I feel like this generation of weddings, they're just better. Like, I feel like all the weddings I went to as a kid, they're more like, it is kind of crazy how all weddings are, a lot of them when they have the bridal party and the bridal table, it is a kind of thing where when they're sitting up there the whole day, they can't really converse much with anyone else. It does give medieval vibes. Like, oh, look, I'm getting married. Watch me eat my partner out for the first time. Watch me hide my wedding ring right below her clitoris and get it out with my tongue instead of doing the garter. We'll do that. What was that accent? But yeah, so I feel like where the fuck was I, man? I feel like we've gotten so far from the traditional way that it's just kind of like it's like cocktail style weddings. That's the more modern way, right? Like doing the whole medieval table thing, you know what I mean? And where you don't get to converse with anyone else, and they're kind of watching you from afar while this night is taking place. It's so weird, I find. But yeah, so that was more of the vibe I experienced as a child and growing up and going to all these weddings. And now it's kind of more laid back, cocktail style wedding. You know, not everyone has a seat at the same time. There's not enough seats for everyone. So therefore, and naturally, if you let it be a stand-up kind of event, not a stand-up event, but a cocktail style event, you'll find not everyone wants to sit down at the same time. So the wedding experience, I know I harp on about, you have to get new suits and this and that. It's money, it's more, you know, but it is beautiful to see. And it's much, much better for me, for some reason, seeing my friends get married. Because obviously when you see your family get married, like, and as of a young age, like, I wasn't as close when I was young, you know what I mean? I wasn't really connected that well to my family at that age, but, you know, cousins and all that. But my friends, man, I've been friends with them for a while now, and seeing them get married, and it's also a reminder, like, the pressure is on for your boy to pop the question here. But yeah, who fucking knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, so we got all that coming up. And what else, man? What else? So that's the thing. I'm planning my friend Christian's bucks, right? And I feel like that shit is like, even bucks parties and hens. I love a bucks, right? I love a bucks. And And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm not going to have a big bucks. It's just what you do, right? But it's that thing where it's like, that also has been more of a going away kind of process. So with all this shit coming back from holidays, you know, I'm just straight into the melting pot with buxes. You know, I got 2 buxes on within the 1 month. I got 2 weddings on within the next 2 months. Although they are, you know, it does fill up my calendar. I do feel blessed to be spending those times with, you know, with my friends that I hold close. And I feel like after that trip, man, it'll just be go, go, go. And I know I complain, but no, I kind of like a go, go, go lifestyle. You know what I mean? Planning my mate Christian's bucks, I think it's a bit more challenging when you're involved like that on the planning level. I feel like not everyone knows what goes into it when you're just the one kind of like, oh, you know, money for this, money for that, booking this, booking that. But he's one of my best mates, and I'm trying to make sure it all goes smoothly and actually plan, because as guys, we are the worst at planning. And I've only learnt from Tori, to be honest, really what it means to just be planned and organised and have her life completely together. And when it's a bit out of, if one fine hair is out of order, it's game over. But to a certain extent, that is healthy to have. I always admired that about her, and I try to apply that with anything that I do that involves planning, and I know I need to. I kind of try to be a bit more proactive with it. But yeah, other than that, man, just yeah, looking forward to this trip I'm currently on. You're probably listening to this, and I'm currently on, but you know, got all Christian's bucks planning out of the way. Yeah, just trying to keep a clear, positive mind before I go on this trip. And I feel like after, when I get back, it's nothing but smooth sailing from there. I feel like the next step would be, man, the next step we actually want to, it's so funny, man. Me and Tori are like, okay, no more after that. No more big trips. But then we're like, 2026, we want to go to America. We want to do Vegas for like a month. So it's not a big holiday, but it's a month. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. I say, like, you know, it's all good spending money on things that give you security in that, but it's also all good spending money on travel. And then I want to travel again, even after I go on this trip. You know what I mean? Like, and then, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like in America, there's only a few places we really want to go. I feel like a lot of America would be kind of like, you know, why would I go there? But I feel like Texas, Vegas, New York, maybe LA, maybe not even LA. I don't think LA after the fires and shit. I don't know what the point is. I know not all of LA is fucked up, but I think, yeah, just Texas, Vegas, New York, maybe New Orleans, maybe not even. But yeah, after that, man, I think after that, then who knows? Maybe a house, but man, the thought of getting a house, bro, and growing up and having a kid, and I mean, I'm already living out of home, but getting a house, having a kid, man, I feel like a fraud if I had my own place and had a kid and I was just a functional dad. I'd just be like, where's the weed at? Or where's, well, I don't know. Let me do something that's like fucking, that's not being an adult. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. You know, I feel like you don't even know you're there until you're there. You're like, oh wait, this is life right now. But yeah, man, fuck, that's all from me, man. That's all from me. That's a short one, but that's all you got now to me, man. That's, I love doing this shit for you. And I'm wherever I am in Europe right now, guys, you listen to this, wherever I am, wish me the best of luck. Like I said in the other podcast, man, wish me the best of experiences, the best of love, and I wish you the same back, man. So, peace out, man.